It was 1980 and my sister and I were both dating. She chose a soldier, someone who would protect our country. I went for a farmer. I knew that my sister's husband, the soldier, would be killed soon after they got married, and my husband would become a huge success in agriculture, living in a big house with trucks. My sister, widowed for 2 years, cheated and was caught. Her mother-in-law kicked her back to our mom's place. When I had my baby, she visited. While I wasn't looking, she tried to stab me with scissors. She hissed, "Why should you, an adopted kid, have a better life than me?" I blinked, and suddenly I was back in 1980, on the brink of making the same choices. This time, my sister was set on marrying a farmer. I snickered. Let her jump into that pit with good old Billy Johnson, so I could have a life of luxury with the McCartys. Coming back from the matchmakers, my sister rushed in and shouted, "Mom, I want to marry Billy Johnson." My adoptive mom was shocked. Her face went pale and she yelled at my sister. Since I was there, Mom couldn't say it clearly, but from her expression, I knew she was against my sister choosing Billy. "Mom, Jenny's worked so hard for this family for years. Now's our chance to pay her back. Let her marry into the McCarty family and be a military wife. It's a great opportunity." "Ashley, don't say that." Mom's hand trembled, her lip quivered. She was so afraid her real daughter was making the wrong choice and ruining her life. My sister whispered something into Mom's ear for a while. Mom looked at me suspiciously, then back at my sister. "Ashley, marriage is a big deal. Think carefully." My sister hugged Mom. "Trust me, Mom." Mom was silent for a long time. Finally, she squeezed my sister's hand tightly. "Okay, I'll trust you this time." Mom looked at me again. "Jenny, Mr. McCarty's son is a few years older than you, a better match. The McCartys have more money than the Johnsons. You've suffered a lot in our family. Now you can have the McCartys' fortune. From now on, you and the Lee family are on separate paths." I understood what Mom meant. Once I married, I would have nothing to do with the Lee family. I sneered inwardly. Mom was probably afraid that if Mr. McCarty's son died, I'd come back home as a burden. Good riddance to this family. Now that the times were changing, even if Mr. McCarty's son died, I could make money and support myself. I might not have the right to choose my spouse, but I could get the best deal possible. "Mom, fine, I'll marry him, but I want a bicycle, a sewing machine, a watch, and $200. Last time, when I married Billy Johnson, Mom wouldn't even give me a sewing machine. To make a living, I sewed clothes for others, making my first fortune. I used that money to start a business with my husband's family, becoming a well-known success. Hand sewing hurt my eyes and hands. Later, my joints twisted, and my eyesight got worse. My sister's dowry was much bigger, plus a few $100s. I knew I couldn't compare to a real daughter. This time, Mom wanted to cut ties, so I'd fight for myself. Seeing Mom hesitate, I added, "Or maybe I should marry Billy. Everyone knows being a military wife is risky. What if I become a widow?" My sister was afraid I'd steal Billy and quickly persuaded Mom to agree. Finally, Mom gave in. My sister smirked at me. "I hope you and Mr. McCarty's son have many kids and grow old together." "Thanks," I said. "I hope you make a fortune, buy a car, and a house." My stupid sister must have been blind not to see what was real. The McCarty family was small, just the son and his mom. They were in industry, not farming. His mom was a teacher, and he had a good salary. If I married into that family, I could relax and not starve. The Johnson family had so many people, plus a nosy mother-in-law. Weak Billy Johnson couldn't handle them. My sister was determined to jump into that wolf den instead of being a military wife. Great. My sister would jump into the fire for me this time, and I could enjoy my life with the McCartys. The wedding was planned. Mom found a fortune teller. The teller said the sisters should marry on the same day, when the family's men would be in danger. So Mom arranged for us to marry in 2 months. Mom believed in that stuff. She adopted me after talking to someone like that. Back then, she couldn't have kids. The teller said to adopt a girl, call her Becky, and treat her well to get pregnant. I got the Lee family a brother and sister, but I was never treated well. Cutting grass to feed pigs, working in the fields, doing laundry, cooking. I worked for the Lees since I was 5 or 6. My hands were frostbitten, and no one cared. I thought it was funny. Mom believed in fortune tellers, but she pushed her own daughter into the fire. Great. The Lee family was nothing to me now. I was marrying into the McCarty family, serving the mother and living a good life. That night, I saw Mr. McCarty's son Peter for the second time. Tall, with a strong face, full of goodness. The McCarty family was small, which made me feel at ease. His mom was nice. Before bed, she took him out and secretly told him to treat me well. Back in the room, Peter smiled softly at me, his eyes a little red. I didn't know why he was so emotional. I stared at him. He was cute, but he was doomed. Looking at the young man, I felt sad. Soon he'd die, and this person would be gone. I hugged his waist and patted his back. Peter hugged me back tightly. His warm body gave me an idea. He'd die soon, but he was right here. I was going to stay with the McCartys anyway, so it would be great to have his baby. That way, I'd have a better reason to stay with the McCartys, and my relationship with his mom would be better. Even if Peter died, he'd have kids, making him a hero with descendants. I'd have done right by the McCarty family. I was flustered. Peter looked like a hero, and I wanted to be close, but I didn't want to make a baby with a stranger. He only had 5 days off. If I didn't make a baby now, it would be too late. I couldn't stop myself. "Peter, should we have a baby?" Peter blushed. He'd been married before, but he was shy about having a baby. Wasn't making babies normal? He hugged me tighter. "It's okay. Wait until my next leave." He sat me on the bed, took off my hair decorations, and brushed my hair. It was so gentle and loving. Remembering he did that for my sister last time, I felt jealous. I threw the brush away and jumped up, wrapping my arms around his neck, my legs around his waist. "Peter, I want a baby." After saying that, I went for his lips. He froze, then quickly turned his head. I kissed his ear. He blushed even more. I bit his ear, and his chest pounded, making me nervous. I was no match for him. He didn't want to, so he pinned my hands. That night, I slept with my hands tied up. The next morning, after breakfast, Peter and I went into town. I wanted to buy wire to build a drying rack to start a business. It was fall, and I wanted to dry sour dates, which were used in medicine and could be sold for a good price. In town, we saw my sister, Ashley, and Billy Johnson. Seeing me, she showed off a box of donuts. "Jenny, you've never had donuts before, have you?" "Billy knows I love them, so he got them for me." I held Peter's arm and smiled sweetly. "Donuts are too sweet. Peter says apple fritters are better, so he got them for me." My sister had always been spoiled. The Johnson family had a lot of people, so she was in for a hard time. My sister glanced at Peter, then leaned in and whispered, whispered, "Did Peter touch you last night? He probably didn't want to, right?" She pulled down her shirt to show me the bruises on her neck. "See? We love each other. You're just wasting your life." I grabbed Peter and kissed his neck. "Love isn't just about that. It's in our hearts, right, honey?" Peter hugged me tighter and kissed my head. "My wife is right." He glared at my sister. "Ashley, if you have time to gossip, go help your mom with the firewood. Now that Jenny's married, your family lost a good worker. My dad works at the store. He makes more money than you." I cut her off. "I hope your dad keeps his job, or your family will be in trouble." My sister pointed at me. "Jenny, you're shameless." She threw the donuts on the ground and stormed off. Billy sadly picked up the donuts, using his shirt to carry them. On the bus, I didn't say anything for a long time. My sister said Peter didn't touch me. How did she know? Maybe Peter didn't touch her either. Was Peter strange? Did he not like either of his wives? Or did he have a secret? Did he not like women? I was scared. Was I married to a gay man? "Are you okay?" Peter asked, feeling my forehead. Before I could answer, he said, "You're amazing, Jenny. You can handle Ashley." Since he complimented me, I didn't say anything. Back home, Peter's mom had made dinner. She was 100 times better than Billy's mom. Before, on my first day of marriage, Billy's mom had me get up before dawn to feed the pigs. Even though it was winter and there was no work, she had me get up at 3 a.m. She wouldn't eat the food, letting it get cold. She thought she was a rich lady, and I was her servant. If I hadn't been able to make money, she would have killed me. Peter's mom kept giving me food. She said Peter was quiet, and I should be patient with him. I nodded and smiled. After dinner, Peter started building the drying rack. He was strong and had a lot of charm. Before, with Billy, he acted like a rich boy. He couldn't even chop wood. I had to do it myself. It took me a week to build a rack. But with Peter, he did everything in one night. I was tired, so I went to bed early. The next day, we cut firewood. The day after, Peter was going back to base. That night, he took out his savings from his bag and gave it to me. "This is all my money. Use it if you need it. Put my paychecks into this account. Take care of my mom." His voice was soft. "I know you can take care of yourself even without a man." My heart sank. Why was he talking like he was dying? I teared up. After thinking for a moment, I took out a silver charm. It had complex patterns. I gave it to him. "What is this?" I saved an old man who gave it to me. He said it would bring good luck. That night, I held Peter tightly, telling him to be careful and think of his mom and me. We waited for him to come home. 2 months later, my sister came with white flowers and fake money. She was smiling. "My dear sister, didn't you know? Peter died. I came to bring you some burning money."